salute all of you for being here today, finding a way to make some time for yourself. And I know how hard that is many times when you have children of your own. Very quickly, I want to let you know, yes, I was a major in the Air Force, and my nickname became Major Mom when my daughter Liliana was born. And so I would get home from military duty, and my husband would run to the front door with baby Lily and say, Major Mom is home! And that nickname stuck since 2003. Then my son was born 18 months later, and at that point, I had to make a really tough decision because military life and motherhood really are completely incompatible. If I had to choose between going to military duty, working extra for the general, what do you think I chose? Yeah, the job. Okay, I'm not going to lie. If the general needed me, I was there. I had been in ROTC since I was 18. I had been in 10 years at that point. So the military was my life, just like your career may have been your life or your education. And I always chose the military first. So my mix probably wasn't what my husband was hoping for. But the way I visualized my life was that I would be a general someday with nannies and maids and chefs and, people do stuff for me. I love telling people what to do, so the military was just so great. Now what happened was my son was born and I really did decide military life and motherhood were incompatible. What happened was I told my husband I resigned my commission in the United States Air Force so I could be a stay-at-home mom. Woo! He's like, what? You did what? I'm like, well, remember, you've been complaining a lot about the house and it's not as organized as it used to be, and you've just been complaining a lot about the kids and how hard this is, and you're gone all the time. So I fixed it. I quit my job. Oh boy. So, I was a stay-at-home mom for all of the whole 6 months. And as many of you career moms go into stay-at-home world for a while, you do start getting a little stir-crazy, but I loved every minute with my kids, and I never looked back. Although my husband would say, can you go back in? You think they'll let you back in the Air Force? I'm like, I resigned. They're not going to let me back in. But what he was saying is, we really need that money that you used to bring in, like a lot. And I said, well, what do you mean? Well, his business was tanking, and he didn't want to tell me. We were in real estate, big time. And I said, oh gosh, okay. So I went back to the drawing board and said, how can I bring in money for my family? What am I good at? Well, one that I love doing is organizing. Who in here loves organizing like me? My teammates better be raising their hand. Where are they? There, you Wendy? Trisha? Mandy? Okay. Who in here hates organizing? Oh, okay. Okay, now, raise your hand again. Who loves organizing? Keep your hand up. If you raised your hand and said you hate organizing, you've got a new best friend very close to you. Get their card. That's a match made in heaven right there. I love organizing. I was born this way. People think it's a sickness. It's not right. What is your problem? And it's like, I didn't know it was a problem. In the military, I thrived in those environments, right? Because, man, we can get a lot done in the military. Do I have any veterans in the room? Any veterans? All right, 1, 2, thank you for your service. I'm also 75% German, and that is in my genes, okay? When I go visit my family in Stuttgart, Germany, oh yes, baby, I am home. I go from France, my husband's French, and we cross the border to Germany. I'm like, you see? It's different. The bathrooms, everything. I'm trying to tell you. It's natural. So what I want to share with you today is that maybe you don't like to organize, maybe you do, and maybe you don't have time, but you want it organized. Important message I'm going to share with you today is that living in chaos and constant disorganization can negatively impact you, first of all, and everybody around you in 4 big ways. The first way is your time. The average American spends 55 minutes a day looking for things that you know you own, but what? Can't find it. Oh, what happens to you when you're looking for something you need for that meeting? What happens to you? Frazzled. Okay, what happens to you if you can't find it and you need it? Go buy another one. I love it. Duplicate purchases. Fabulous way to waste time and money. What happens to your husband if he's nearby? What happens to him? You bet your, oh yes. Honey, what'd you do with it? There's no way I moved it because I know what I'm doing in this house. I'm the household manager. I run things around here. Now, who moved it? Now, what if those sweet little innocent poor children are nearby? What are we going to do next? Be honest. What are you going to do? You're going to blame them. Yes. You. Did you move my keys again? I told you not to touch Mommy's keys. Were you on Mommy's phone again? Remember we talked about that? Death is the consequence. Don't touch my phone, don't touch my keys, people. So you just get so frustrated when you want to find something that you need and you can't find it. 23% of adults pay their bills late. And it's not because they don't have money in the bank. Why are they paying the bills late? You guys know the answers. Too many of those answers. Yes, you can't find the bills. That is a very expensive way to go about life. So there's, again, your time, your money are impacted. Another fun stat that I'll share with you, the IKEA stat's already been shared. Another fun stat is that 25% of people with a 2-car garage can get how many cars in them? 0! Trisha, we got a lot of clients in this room. Just go ahead and just start collecting cards. 0, that's correct. The U.S. Department of Energy did a research study and decided they wanted to find out why we weren't parking our cars in the garage. That's what they were designed for. And what they determined, they did a government study, 20 feet tall. They said, we are going to go out there and try to get people to get their cars back in the garage because they're wasting so much energy and the carbon imprint is so big because they're turning on their cars in the wintertime to warm them up. And I know how some of you are with your beautiful nails. You're going to turn that car on out on the driveway and you're going to let it go for about 25, 30 minutes, let that ice melt naturally with the heat from the car. You're not going to mess up your nails and you're not going to get your heels messed up. And the U.S. Department of Energy is very upset about that. Very. So they said, I wonder what's in the garages. Wonder what's in there. What did they find out? Junk. They said it, not more politically correct, of course. They said, we've discovered that there is a lot of stuff in the garage keeping the very expensive vehicles and assets out on the driveway, and we've determined that there's nothing in the garage with any intrinsic value. So therefore, we suggest you get rid of all that stuff and get your cars back in. It was a fabulous study. You should read it sometime. It's very interesting. Another fun stat, which I love this stat, because I think it applies to every single woman, maybe man, or three men, 4, in this room. You wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. Why would we do that, Miss Fashion Designer, Consultant, Wonderful Rachel Woman? Why would that be happening? Yeah, why would we only wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time? Yeah, right, and half the clothes in there don't fit our butts anymore. How many people in here have had babies? Okay, something happens to your body and they just don't fit right anymore. Even if you still are technically a 6 or an 8, no. Go get some new jeans because they're too tight. And like she said, cover that butt up, so don't show the butt. But a lot of times, we just have a lot of clothes in our closet that don't fit, and as a professional organizer, we call that clutter. Because you should go into your closet every day, Pick out what you want to wear and go off to what you need to do versus pick something out and go, ooh, that doesn't quite get up past the knees. Okay, let's try something else. Okay. Now you have clothes all over the floor. You don't know what to do. You're not sure if you're going to pick those ones up again. We always tell our clients, just have a little donate box right there in the closet. Throw it right in the donate box. Do not try to wear that again. But we bring the image consultants in to help give that message. We're just trying to help you get your closets organized. The last fun stat is that research has proven that 80% of the time, our clutter is not due to lack of space. It's not due to lack of space. It's due to lack of organization, too much stuff. And so a lot of times when our clients are like, I need a bigger house, I gotta have a bigger house, I need more space, we're like, that's gonna be a really hefty mortgage, that's gonna be a lot of expenses. Are you sure we can't just declutter a little bit first and make sure that this 2,000 square foot house maybe already is working for you? But you know, sometimes we just say, well, I need a bigger house for the... She said a bad word. I'm not gonna repeat it. But that is true, some people do use that word. So there's major impacts of disorder on our lives and everybody around us, right, Angel? And our money, our time, our health, and our safety are impacted. Now, because if we only have 30 minutes for this talk, I'm not going to go into the money and the time and the health and safety. We do free workshops on that every month where we can really talk about it. But you probably are already aware of where you're wasting time and money, where your health is impacted by stress, and where you might have some safety incidents in the home. Accidents in the home have gone up 760%. And it's because of all those darn cords. Laptop cords, computer cords, cords. And a lot of times when we go into our client's house, they will walk over the cord and I'm thinking, this is not good. We do not need an obstacle course in the household. Go do that in the military. But no. Our feet don't like stuff around it like that. And so it actually starts to wear and tear on your health and your safety. So if you go home today, look around your house and see if you have any cords out, because they really are dangerous, even if you are used to walking over them all the time. You stop seeing them, but they're still there. They could be safety hazards for other people. So if your time, your money, your health, and your safety are impacted, that's kind of the big doom and gloom of the message. Like, it's really important to be organized, but not perfectionists. So that's where we talk about roadblocks for many of you for getting organized, is that you're being too perfectionistic. Not OCD, that's a whole nother story. Who in here would say that you are a perfectionist? Raise your hand. You are a perfectionist. You know you're a perfectionist because you take a long time to get things accomplished, but when they are done, they are perfect. Leave most of us drooling over it, like, wow, that's nice. But you can't conceive of how you would ever get there. You don't know how they've done it. And a perfectionist will tell you that that is the number one roadblock to getting organized. Because sometimes a perfectionist will say, if I just had more time and more money, I could execute this vision that I have. And we'll say, as a professional organizer, what is your vision for this space? And they'll whip out the IKEA catalog, or they'll whip out the Container Store catalog, or some catalog, and it's like, oh. It's probably like our stylist who's like, here's what I want my hair to look like and my clothes. And you're thinking, you don't have the body shape for that now. But that's how an organizer is like, oh, okay, here we go. So then first how we break it down is this. So if you're a perfectionist, I'll be really clear. Nothing in that magazine is real. There is nothing real about that magazine. There are no computers plugged in. None of them. A lamp? Nope. They cut the cords. I will pay you $100 if you can come to me at any time in my lifetime and show me a magazine that has everything plugged in and a real person could work there. Okay, I'll give you $100 cash. Because see, they're selling us something that isn't real, and it makes us long for something we can never have. And so then we actually try to create households like that too, where we're like, okay, everybody, we need to look perfect all the time, and we don't need a place for paper management because we'll just shove that in the drawer over there. Yes, over there in the drawer, because we want it to look perfect, because we are not supposed to have papers out because none of the magazines do. So that's the first roadblock to getting organized, is perfectionism. If you suffer from that, our team is really good at helping with that. We just knock you right out of it. We're like, nope, stop. But if you've gone into a realm of OCD and you really are stuck, we do have a lot of clients like that as well, and we can help you. So just, keep in mind that there is a spectrum out there, all the way from hoarding to minimalist, and we have worked with somebody at some point in time on that spectrum. In general, we specialize where you're kind of right there in the middle. You've got a lot going on, you kind of know it's good to be organized, but you can't create it for yourself. The second roadblock to getting organized is that you don't make time. You are out of the house all the time because as soon as you come into the house, you're like, oh my God. Oh, whatever she said. And then you're like, let's just go out to eat. I cannot deal with this kitchen. Let's just go out to eat. And so then what happens over the course of time, you're never home. And then it doesn't get organized because we avoid the home. It's a very large, expensive asset. And what I like to do is make sure you love your home again. So not saving time is a roadblock. Another roadblock are life transitions. So when your mix changes, we had all these women in the room today where your mix is changing and the roadblocks are coming and the detours are coming. When those things are happening, divorce, death, baby 1, baby 2, baby 3, baby 4, baby 5. I know some of you have more than 5 kids in here. And those we consider life transitions that are roadblocks to getting organized. Another roadblock to getting organized, it's not a fun one. We don't like to talk about it very much, so we'll just gloss right over it. Emotional attachment to your stuff. There, that's done. Okay. Woo! Okay, I said it. Sometimes you actually just don't have what it takes to create order. Your genius is art, gardening, consulting, something else gets you jazzed and gets you up every day. And no matter how hard you try or no matter how hard you think you should be able to create order and organization in your home, you just can't. And that's okay. Cleaning and organizing are 2 totally different skill sets. Completely different. Which leads me to my last roadblock that I just want to quickly mention. Friends and family can be a major roadblock to getting organized. And here's why. So Sister Sally comes over and she's so perfectionistic and does everything perfectly. Anybody know one of those? They're everywhere. And so she will tell you, oh dear, 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 dear. Mama didn't raise us like this. Why are you living like this? What's your problem? I mean, I don't even want to sit in this couch. Let's get rid of all your crap. I can help you. And so friends and family can be a roadblock because what do we tend to do when people come into our space and our home with all their judgment? You stop inviting them, yes. What else? Dig your heels in, because that's the human spirit. Well, I'll just make it messier then. That'll show ya. I'm going to make it so messy. It makes me so mad. Yeah, I'm going to mess it up. And then that I would consider would be a roadblock. Because then you've dug your heels in. Now you're going to prove that this is how you like to live. That's right. I like it, and I know where everything is. The other roadblock would be the opposite family member. Maybe it's Grandma Bessie, maybe it's your mom, who says, how could you get rid of that? How could you? You save everything, everything. You never know when you're going to need it, right? You have to keep everything all the time because you never know, honey. You never know. Well, that was Grandpa John's. What are you doing? You save everything all the time because you never know. So that message is in your mind too. And so when you actually try to go get rid of clothes in your closet that you know you're never going to wear again, you don't even like them, you hear that, save everything. Never get rid of anything. And you're like, oh no! And your sister's going, get rid of it. My gosh, you are a clutter bug. And you're like, I don't know what to do. So then you do nothing. That's where we come in. But these are roadblocks, and they're real, and every single person in the room experiences a roadblock. Even the most organized person in the world gets derailed. I like to say, I don't get derailed that often, but I'm in the midst of a relocation, death, and which is making me want to be on the brink of divorce, right? You're like, oh my gosh, everything my husband says right now is like, oh, stop talking. And because you're just like, oh, I'm derailed, right? And so what I do is I bring my teammates in, Major Mom Liberators, and say, get this organized. I got to get my house on the market. And they come in and they do it, right? So I don't try to do it all myself. But roadblocks are real. Recognize them and reach out for help when you need it, however you need to. Where are those really people that like to organize again? Raise your hand, raise your hand. You like to organize. Yeah, they're going like this now. First it was like, oh yeah, baby, that's me. Now they're like, You're going to have some new best friends today. We're going to share with you quickly in this last 10 minutes, majorly simple steps for getting your life back on track. Maybe it's just your car. Maybe you've got your office locked down tight, the house is locked down tight, but oh man, if we go through this parking lot right now and take some photos, you'd not be very happy. Because the car is where you're losing control of it. Somewhere, some way, there might be just one area that you just can't seem to get on top of. These 3 steps I'm going to share with you are so simple, and you're going to love them. You're going to love them. Yes, I'm trying to prepare your mind for this first one. Step 1. I'm scared to tell you. Stop the incoming. Stop the incoming. Do not buy that shirt because it's on. Do not buy 5 of the shirts because they're on. You have to make a conscious decision today. You say, today is the first day of the rest of my life. I am not going to go shopping if I cannot control myself. Here is what is phenomenal that we women will do. We will actually buy stuff that doesn't even fit us. What? Why do we do that? Closet after closet that we organize, tags are still on the clothes, and they'll say, well, that's for when I lose weight. That's half the closet, though. Stop buying stuff because you haven't lost the weight yet. Now that's actually causing pressure and stress. See how we built ourselves into a cycle of constant disappointment and clutter because we're like, well, these are my inspiration. I'm like, you need one inspiration picture in your bathroom, not 27 outfits that don't fit. So we can just say today, I'm going to stop the incoming. If you are a infoholic, you know who you are, you're stuck in infomania, you have every magazine known to woman and man, and you're going to read all of them, except you don't. And where are they right now in your house? In a pile, or maybe 17 piles spread throughout the house so it doesn't look like you have so much to read. But that's pressure. That's pressure. I would love for you to take this pressure off of yourself so we could spend more time with our kiddos. We could spend more time just enjoying and being by stopping the incoming. That's step 1, and it usually is the biggest switch for most women. If your kids have too much stuff, it's probably because of you. Okay, so my kids have so much stuff, and we go, and who bought it? Your kids don't have any money, okay? So we're back to step 1 again, which is the mom. So we do ourselves into quite a frenzy sometimes. Step 1 is stop the incoming. Step 2, combat the clutter in your home by getting rid of everything you don't need, use, want, or love. Man, right now there's probably 3 things in your home right now that you hate. You hate it. Your mother-in-law bought it. You don't know why. She thought of you when she got it, and there it is every day. Or your husband got it, back when you were in college because he thought you were into it or something, but you're like, I don't know why he got that. There's something in your home right now that you hate, and there's no room in our homes for stuff we don't love. Everything should honor us. Everything should make us feel wonderful and evoke good emotions. So all those old boyfriend pictures that are still on the wall, can you just take those off the wall when you get home? And your husband will probably appreciate it, your boyfriends too, or whoever. But just combat the clutter by getting rid of everything. Right now, all of us in the room could probably fill up 4 trash bags of stuff not even going to miss. And right now, you could drop it off at Dress for Success, drop it off at Goodwill, things like that. Perfectionists, I said just drop it off. Drop it off at Goodwill. Don't create 17 piles for Jessie, Messy, and Louise and everybody who needs your stuff, and you're going to control who gets it when and how and why. Just put it all in a bag, and it'll be so freeing. It'll feel weird. It'll feel weird at first, but just drop it off, okay? Because Goodwill has really great ways of figuring out who actually needs your stuff. And when you release it, this glorifying thing happens is that someone walks into ARC the next day or Goodwill or Dress for Success, and they got exactly what they wanted, right? So it's this wonderful circle of generosity that you create when you combat clutter. Last thing. You've stopped the incoming. You've combated the clutter by getting rid of everything you own. And here's the last step. Subliminals, we try to make sure you call us. Everything you don't like. And now you're going to organize one room at a time. Did I say the whole house? No, because right now I can tell by 3 of your eyes, the way you're looking at me right now, you're ready to go get in your car and you're going to organize the whole house. And when your husband gets home, you're going to ambush him and you'll be like, oh, that dinner, it's off. Cancel it. Kids, no sports tonight. Lock the doors. Because guess what we're going to do? We're going to organize the whole house. And I'm going to get my car in the garage. So, honey, if you have to stay up till 3 in the morning, 4, cars going back in. I mean it, get your crap out of the way. Mama has lost it. So that's what a lot of our clients do. You snap a snappage, you lose it, and all that results in is everybody in the household is going to turn on you. They'll turn on you. You've turned on them, now they're going to turn on you, and it's all out war. What this last step is all about is just do one area at a time and make sure it's your area. You can't go after the husband and the kids until your areas are locked down tight. And then sometimes we'll call in Major Mom to help them go after the husbands and the kids. But we always say, are your areas looking good? Yours look good? Because if we come in, you've got to be good. It's got to look good, because the first thing your husband's going to say is, well, Angel's stuff is all over the place. Jay's going to be like, why do I have to get rid of my t-shirts, Angela? Right? Well, Angel's areas do look good, Jay. It's your turn. So that's the fun part, because then you can actually look at the husbands and the kids or your significant others and say, I've done my part, it's your part. So these 3 simple steps can really transform your life. If you feel that you cannot do them on your own, be wise and reach out for help. Because getting organized, it's not a luxury in this fast-paced world we live. It's a necessity. I would like to take quick questions. I have 2 minutes, and I know some of you are burning when I ask a professional organizer right now how to get rid of your husband's stuff. Go ahead. Or your friend, or your mom. Okay, speak in this.
In our kitchen, we have a box. It's the paper box, and it's where all the hodgepodge from the kitchen counter goes. And now our crawl space has 5 boxes with different addresses written on them from every time that we've moved. The paper box gets thrown into a box, and I'm just wondering, how do I get rid of the paper box? Because it looks like crap.
And where are the paper boxes living now?
On the kitchen counter.
Oh, on the kitchen counter. Okay. No one understands this, do they? Yeah, we don't have any clients with paper boxes. We call them sweep-in stores. You sweep it off the counter and you store it in there. Stash and dash. I have a couple clients in the room that have taught me some of these terminology, and I will not point you out today. But what you do with those papers is you've got to take all those boxes at the same time and organize them at the same time. So you'd bring all the boxes together from all the moves that had the addresses on them, very organized, by the way, to put the actual address where those papers came from the sweep-in store method that you've been using for years that will now stop. And you sort each of those boxes. Just get papers, kids, just do big picture category, because perfectionists might say, those 17 boxes or those 7 boxes are going to take so long. But first, just go papers, kids, personal, maybe garage. Like just do big picture categories. That'll be a tremendous step forward. Then you have the paper box left, because the other things can either just go in the trash, because it's like bubbles, okay, trash, this, trash, you just go, okay, I don't need this. Now you can just work with the papers. A lot of those papers, as you were sorting, were already recycle and trash. So really, most of the stuff in there is already trash or recycle at this point. You're just looking for treasures. So go into those 7 boxes, into the treasure hunt mentality, where you're just looking for tax documents, insurance, things that are really important that you do not want to throw out. Next, we'll have one more question. Yes, I'm going to.
So how do you do that? I have this out of sight, out of mind kind of mentality. So if I put it away in a folder, and then I forget that folder exists, and that's when the bill doesn't get paid. So I have to put it all out there so I see it all the time.
Yes, you're an Audi. We call you an Audi. She doesn't have an Audi, she is an Audi. And she likes things out. And so a lot of times what happens is we get guilted into being an innie. We have to keep everything put away in the folders and things. So she's paying bills late because she puts them all away nice and neat and organized, and forgets about them. And she forgets about the papers because she's trying to be an innie, when the way her brain works is that you're an Audi. And so what we do is we create a system for you where it can stay out and stay in your visual radar. Don't put things away if that's actually not how your brain stores the information. That would be a left brain linear solution to maybe you're a little bit more right brain and didn't know it. Okay? Any time for any more questions? One more question. Yes? Yes. We call it the command, control, and communication system. Of course, military, I had to do it. But if you have one area in your home where all the papers get first processed, so even if your kitchen counter is the first stopping point for that sorting, we always tell our clients, you get 24 hours for mail and kids' papers and things to stay on that counter. At that point, if you don't know the second location, you're right, you have no system whatsoever, because a system isn't dumping it on the kitchen dining room table. So if you have papers right now on the counter and the kitchen table, that actually is not a system. Okay, a system would be, I drop them at the counter, I put all the recycle in there, get rid of the junk mail as soon as you can. I then take the stuff that needs to stay in my system and I go over to either my mommy desk or into my real big girl desk, whatever you have, into your big girl office, and then it gets sorted from there. Each child has their own basket or bin or in basket, and you separate everything by child and individual, versus keeping all these piles where even the child cannot help, because a lot of our clients' kids say, I don't know where my mom put it. Who knows? We're never going to find it. And so, the kids, basically what they're saying to us is, help, help. She keeps forgetting to turn their field paperwork in, and I don't get to go on the trip, or they're calling her, look, and it's so embarrassing. A lot of our kids are just mortified that we lose their papers all the time. So a system, a thought out system, where it comes in first, where it goes second, and then where does it archive. It doesn't have to be but 3 bins. It doesn't have to be a big elaborate thing. Thank you all so much for having me today.
That was awesome.